Welcome. This is Jonathan, and I would like to take you through a little SOLIDWORKS tutorial. This is a new install of SOLIDWORKS. We're just going to expand it out. I'm going to hit pin. See that little pin? Because I don't like my menus flying back and forth. So I'm going to pin it. And what I'd like to do is we'll just say new. So you see that little guy up there. We'll click on new. It's going to ask us what we want for units. I will leave it in inches and ANSI for now. And we're going to fire up our templates. And what that allows us to do is pick part, assembly, or drawing. We're going to use this basic. There's an advanced section here. We'll come back to that at a later time. We'll stick with the novice, and I'm just going to pick a part and say OK. And SOLIDWORKS is going to load, and we're not going to see our datum. So I'm gonna click on those, holding the control button, just to show you what they look like. So you can see there's the top plane, there's the front plane, and the right plane. And it's really important to start sketching on the kind of plane of origin that you want, because it orientates your part. So I'm going to start on the top plane, and I'm going to say Extrude Boss Base. So when I click this tool, it's going to bring me into the sketch tool. Okay, and that's going to automatically start this drawing process. So I'm going to just use lines, and let's make a little Tetris icon. And so you can see I'm using some of these are automatic relations that are coming in. I'm just clicking a point as they come in. If you're careful, there will be some equal options that come in. Now, you can see this line is not horizontal, so I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to use my Make Horizontal tool, and you can see this is locked in horizontal. Now, there's a couple other things we want to do. I want to add in some dimensions. So I'm going to come up to Smart Dimensions, and I'm going to add in a dimension that gives my overall height. So let's just say that's 2. And I'm going to give a dimension for my overall width. Let's just say that's 5. And then I'm going to give a dimension for my block height, which I'll just leave at 1. Okay, so we're seeing the colors change in SOLIDWORKS, right? These black lines are fully defined. These blue lines are not fully defined. So I could grab a point and I can kind of skew this around, because there's no dimension that's controlling this length. Now, if we add a dimension, like this using the Smart Dimension, oopsies, I want a Smart Dimension that goes from here to here. And we're not getting it, so I'm hitting escape and I'm coming back up to the Smart Dimension tool. There. So in this case, I'm going to put it at 2.5, just so we see a little shift. And in this case, let's do a new Smart Dimension, and I'm gonna take this line, holding the control button down and selecting this line. So I've selected 2 lines, and you can see my options here to lock them in order. So I can make them collinear, which will snap them horizontally level. So I don't have to, I can use 1 dimension to control that height now instead of having to have 2. And then lastly, I need the width of my box. Now, why am I'm working on fully defining this entire part? And the reason is, if all of the items are black in color, if they've all been changed so that they are fully defined, it makes your part much more stable in the long run. And we can get into more about that later, but I'm just going to leave it at that right now. Now remember, we started on the top plane. So when this goes to a default view, it's going to lay back flat on the page. So I'm going to hit the little exit sketch icon, and it'll bring me into the tool where I can select how deep I want this to extrude. And so you're seeing, I pulled it out with the little arrow. You can also push in, like those are options. If I only want to go one direction, I'm just going to turn that option off, and I'm going to set this to 1 inch, just so my dimensions are all locked down. Okay. Now, if we go to a default view, so, well, that's not my default view. I want my isometric view. You can see we've got the reflections turned on here. I'm going to come up and toggle off my real view. I don't need it quite so fancy, and turn off cartoon. And so there's kind of my Tetris part, right? And I'd have ability to come in here, and if I double click on the model, you're going to see all of the dimensions open up. And from this point, I could modify the dimension just by double clicking, and let's say I want to make this 2 wide, right? And it shows you the live update right away. I could also change the width, right? Everything is editable in this format. To see the change, I may have to hit rebuild. So this is the rebuild icon up here. So I'm going to hit rebuild, and then you can see the change occur. I think I'm going to stop here. This is a good place to end. This would be how to create a part. And what I'll do is just say save as. So we'll say file and save as, and I want to give this a name. So I'm going to just make a working folder in documents called SOLIDWORKS Parts, right? Just something simple. And then this is going to be first part, okay? And you can add details here, but it's not necessary. So this is my first part, and we'll stop here, and then you guys let me know what you want to see. I am glad to make anything for anybody. I am a certified SOLIDWORKS expert, which means I've taken literally all of the exams. I think at the time that I was registered, I was one of 38 in the entire state, and so I'm sure there are a few more now, but I definitely have a working knowledge of SOLIDWORKS and would love to help you out. So if that interests you, leave a comment. Let me know what kind of parts you're interested in.
Come and subscribe. Once you've hit subscribe, click the bell. The bell will bring you all the notifications for all the new videos.